Yes, guys, Suki from BTS TV, fueled by GSN Explosive Ape. And of course, British Finals weekend is done. I'm here with my co-host, Matt Parker. And of course, I have to bring a couple of big guns to reflect on the weekend. One person we had to rope in is, of course, Olympia 2025 qualified Pro Classic champion. I asked him, is he feeling the pressure? He didn't feel the pressure. He pulled out of the bag. He's off to Olympia. That is, of course, Yemi. And then, of course, there is the future. That's what a lot of people call this kid. We know he's got a big future ahead of him. He took second place in the PCA Pro Show against a very seasoned competitor in Lubos. I don't want to know what the age difference is between the two guys, but it was close. That can only be Kaya, PCA Pro. Lads, thank you for joining us.
No worries.
Thank you.
All right, guys, we can go straight into it because we've got a lot to unpack. And Matt, I need your help here through this. Anyway, we've got a lot of stuff going on. The only place, I'm sorry, Kai, I'm going to have to put you on the bench here for a moment because we do have to start on Saturday. Yemi, you got your ticket to the Olympia. I'm not going to ask you how it feels because that's so obvious. All I'm going to ask you now is going to go straight into it. Talk to me about the plans now moving forward, going to the Olympia 2025.
All right, cool. So I woke up at 93 kilos on stage day. So that's about 6 kilos ish away from my cap. So the plan is just to fill that out. I put on 6 kilos last year. And I was like pretty much like pushing it to feed because I absolutely lost my appetite because I was fresh off a gyno surgery and I just sat at home and just ate what I wanted pretty much. So that didn't help very much. So now I actually have the ability to just train and eat and stuff like that. So I'll actually be able to like have a rebound. So due to that, I think we're about to have a lot of an easier time of putting on 6 kilos, potentially putting on an extra, 1 or 2. And then just having to bring it down nice and hard for the Olympia when we weigh in, and then we can fill out. You got 2 days for the Olympia to fill out. So, if I put on, let's just say 8 kilos, which I'm pretty confident I can do, you're going to see a maxed out Yemi for the first time on stage.
Well, I just want to go back to this one moment, mate, here. I'm sure you can see the screen. I think this is the moment where you're about to be called out as a champion. You had a really good to head with Julio. So talk to me what was going through your head at this moment. Did you feel that, you got this in the bag?
You know what? I'm going to be 100% right because Julio pushed me and I didn't. Well, okay, I'll be 100%. I'm a very analytical person and I understand bodybuilding really well. So I know Julio from 2022. So when I knew he was doing the show, I knew that he was going to be the I don't want to say it, but I knew he was going to be my biggest rival going into this show. So in my head, I knew that I was going to have to go up against him. But I'll be honest, and I was sitting in the car on the way to the venue, and the only thing I was thinking is, I'm on my way to get my Olympia qualification. This is kind of cool. Like at no point did I think that I was not going to win. Now, obviously, it was a close battle. I'm not going to sit there and act like, oh yeah, that was easy. Kate walked it. I didn't, but. I was really confident that I was going to win the show, and obviously, I think you can see it in the performance. Anyone that was there, I think the confidence was flowing through the air. I was egging on the judges to give us extra rounds. I was doing whatever it took to, make sure. I'll be honest. I saw a couple of the guys sweating after their individual routines, so I knew that there was one thing that I could do that they couldn't do, and that was pose. My posing stamina is phenomenal, so I thought I was going to poke the bear a little bit and get them judges to keep on giving us round after round, and I was going to get them to tire out and gas out, and it worked.
Matt, I know you, we spoke about this beforehand, and you always felt that Yemi was going to be one of the first guys from British soil to win his ticket to Olympia. So was it any much of a surprise to you?
No, not really, mate. I mean, I obviously studied the lineup heavily because I obviously had Charles in the class as well. So I knew everyone that was going, and I knew Yemi was the front runner. Julio I do agree with what Yemi said. Julio did look good. He did push him. I wanted to give this opportunity to basically give a shout out to him and Zach because they did a fantastic job. I'll tell you what, Julio had fantastic arms and chest, but his glutes were nuts, man. His glutes
Glutes are
were very,
crazy. Glutes are crazy.
yeah, man. Like he could do wellness if he wanted to with those glutes.
Yeah, facts.
What about for yourself, Kaya? I know, obviously, for yourself, mate, you were focusing on the PCA finals, but did you get a chance to check out what was going on over the other side?
Yeah, I always keep an eye. I'm always in the loop of like what's going on and how people are getting on, but more so just the people that I know and support and have followed for the last few years, like Yemi, people that I've, come up with at the same time. Like we've competed together. To see the progression at the trajectory, like my proudest achievement is that sword in the middle there where I actually beat Yemi in the overall when I was
revenge.
And like so we always push each other on and support each other, and it's just great to see that your friends doing well. So I always keep updated, and I'm always keeping an eye on the boys and pushing them. But yeah, man, like, as soon as I saw that gassed me up for my show, just to see Yemi's off to the Olympia. I was like, bro, no one deserves that more. No one.
I saw you compete in Alicante, mate, earlier on in the year because I was at that show. And I thought you looked wicked. Like Emilio put on a really good show there, didn't he? You know, where the flames were coming out from the side and the strobe lights and all. I thought, Jesus, man, when you hit that shot, when you came out, your structure was crazy. So it's good to see you just ran the gauntlet this year, and kept fighting for it, and you got that Olympia qualification. It's just cool to see, man. So are you shutting it down now until the Olympia?
Yeah, I'll probably be chucking it down to the Olympia. I'll be honest, with the Alicante show, I actually didn't plan to do it.
What, literally like last minute decision sort of thing?
Yeah, like I was like 12 days out. Okay, so I was gonna go out there. So Dan, Ifbb Pro.
Yeah.
He was going out there anyway. So I was like, I bought a ticket to just watch the show, and then like I was on prep maybe like I don't know, a month or so, a little bit over a month. And I just looked at myself and I was like, oh no, actually what happened was we was gonna do Ireland. So Ross put me on a bit of a digging phase. But the digging was digging quick, bro. So I legit looked at myself and I was like to Ross, like, should we do Alicante? And he was just like, I mean, it's possible, but I'll think about it. And then like the next day I just bought the pro card and then applied.
Love that, mate. Love that, because it wasn't a small lineup either, so fair play to you.
It was a massive lineup. It's probably the biggest lineup of the year, other than the Olympia, obviously. Like, I mean, the guy that won it got top 6, so clearly it wasn't, and I think there was about 28 guys. The fact that I beat almost half the lineup with like basically a fat ass is insane.
Yeah. So now imagine what you're going to do: max out cap and shred it to the bone. It's going to be crazy.
Top 5.
Well, look. I mean, if there's anything to take a lot of promise, a lot of excitement to Olympia next year, is obviously going off now Darwin's Olympia debut this year and taking 11th place and just see what he's brought to the table, and now even pushing Dino in the Olympia Brazil. So I think for myself, it's equally exciting now to see yourself on the Olympia stage in 2025, and even more exciting in knowing that you've got a good 12-month period until the Olympia. So much you can do lead up to. So yeah, seeing this new full Yemi Olympia 2025 in Vegas could be something special. But
I promise it's going to be something that no one's seen before. And I feel like every time I brought a physique to the stage, it's something that no one's seen before. So just wait.
How old are you, Yemi?
Guess.
Oh, I hate this game, man. 30.
You know what? Spot on, mate.
Oh, yeah. I'll
it's my
take that.
31st in about a month. Exactly a month from now.
No way. I'm usually shit at that game, so I'll take that. Yeah, so you've got ages yet, man. You're still, fairly fresh in the sport, which is awesome.
I mean, yeah, I only started training 6 years ago. So
Madness.
Yeah, I mean, Chris Bumstead only won 6 Olympias by the time he's 30, so no rush, no pressure.
No, the thing is though, by the time look, when I was in my first year of training, Chris Bumstead was winning his first Olympia, so
Look, let's go. I just want to go on to another Yemi because it was double delight for UK.
Double
And
Yemi win.
yeah, mate, not just yourself when we Olympia ticket, but let's just touch on the pro men's physique class very quickly. And well, I would love to go on the Two Bros Instagram page, but I'm still blocked, so that's not happening anytime soon. So we will just go onto my page and let's just bring up. I mean, Matt, I want to throw it to yourself, mate, because we talked about this class. We knew that Emil and Yemi were going to be in the mix. Omar's coming as well. What did you make out of this class?
Yemi did really, really well. I spoke to Emil straight after the show. He said that it was his posing that let him down a little bit again, unfortunately. He said that he's getting to work on it straight away because I do feel Emil's got all the tools to make it happen. Again, I said to him, like, just a bigger top line, more fullness in the chest, better posing, and he'll really climb those ranks again. Omar did really well to get second, I thought. He brought an insane look, insane package to the stage. But Yemi, both Yemis, maybe it's the name. You've just got insane structures. This Yemi's like 6'5", I think, and his paper is unreal. And I don't know what his plan is now. I don't know if he's going to shut it down to the Olympia. But when he maximizes that frame and fills it out completely, he is going to be extremely dangerous, I think. Because look at that structure; it's very, very good.
Yeah, for sure, mate. For sure, it looked really good. We knew this was going to be a tight one between himself, Emil coming off the Olympia. Maybe not the result he wanted, but of course, Yemi, after winning in Italy, coming second in Italy, beating Emil over there, and now returning back to Olympia, joining. I mean, Yemi will probably never get old of saying, but I say joining Yemi from Classic, Ryan Terry, and Samson over at Olympia in Vegas. Just it's always just mad to always repeat those same words, but. I just want to finish very quickly on the Two Bros British Finals. There were a few new pro competitors. Yemi, I just wanted to get your thoughts first on Julio. You obviously competed against him. Talk to me about what you think is how bright his future could be in the pro classic ranks.
From what I gather, he might be 24 pounds away from his cap, so he's got a lot of room to grow. From a potential, like, you know, his potential is endless. He's got that higher weight cap, so having that higher weight cap is always going to be favorable when you are, you know, in classic, because you're just going to be able to be a bigger man. So you're going to have to get beat by someone smaller that has a better structure. You know, his structure is still great. Tape is amazing. Like, the glutes are great. He has a really dense physique. Like, he kind of has that same look that Stefan has, where it's like the bubbly, round muscle, but it's on a taller frame because Stefan's a bit shorter than me, whereas Julio is a little bit taller than me. You can even see, like, he's leaning over. You know what I mean? I think he's like 6'1", so he's a fairly tall guy. So yeah, he's got a lot of weight to, you know, play with when it comes to being at the cap. He has the ability to get inside out, like. You know, when you see him shredded, he's got his obliques are popping out, his glutes are, you know, dialed, and his lower back is absolutely, you know, razor sharp. So all these things are always going to be a massive play to him. You know, when he turns around, he's just going to be able to, you know, draw back that lower back and just, you know, wow people with that. So it's always going to be really good to see. You know, he's got a lot to move. He's got a lot to improve with his posing, I would say. Like, you know, some of his shots, they're not my favorite. And if he hit them slightly different, they probably will become my favorite. So it's just, some of it is a posing tweak thing. And then that, obviously, just having posing stamina, I'd say everyone needs more posing stamina. Like, the fact that I can confidently go into a show and just know that I can outpose people, that shouldn't be a thing. I'll be honest. Like, I would say, if you're a pro, you're watching this right now, you better be getting on your posing game. Not just learning how to pose, but learning how to hold your poses for a very long time. And be comfortable doing rounds after rounds, because if it's ever close, what's going to happen? If you start to get tired, that's when you start to fade every single time.
Well, yeah, I mean, look, fair play to the guy. I mean, look, he got the overall win at the regional. We knew that it would be between him and potentially Ron going for that pro card. But I mean, look, Coach Zach has pulled out the bag. I know he's got a few pro cards so far this year, but fair play to himself, and also challenging himself coming second in that pro lineup. It's also probably worth me also just throwing back to Matt as well, because Matt, I know you had your client Charles in the pro show as well, in the Pro Classic. What's your overall thoughts? How did he feel? How it all went?
Well, we were buzzing with it, man. Really, really happy with that. Obviously, this is his rookie season. It's only his second every year competing. And our main focus is the Ben Weider Nationals next month. And there was another guy in that lineup yesterday or Saturday that was a front runner for that show, and Charles beat him. He's called Patrick. So that's a really, really positive thing for us moving into that Ben Weider show. So we're buzzing.
That's quality, mate. Well, look, Kaya, I want to throw this one to yourself, mate. Did you get a chance to see the two bros bodybuilding overall class?
Not really, because the day that it was all going on, I was pretty tired, traveling up to the PCA show. And then obviously once I got to my hotel, I don't really go on my phone much like before the show. So I was just sleeping a lot, to be honest.
Well, I just want to touch on this further very quickly. Jack Richardson. I know he obviously took the regional win and then missed out over at the overalls in the regional to Connor. And I do think that there was a lot of talk about Connor and Nick going into the show. Well, one of those two take the pro card. It looked like this was a straight head-to-head between Connor and Jack in the overalls, but fair play to Jack. Lovely structure. I thought the tan looked really good on him as well. Yemi, Matt, what's your thoughts on this fella now, the newest Ifbb Pro card winner in the men's bodybuilding?
To be honest, man, I didn't see this class, but from what I've seen afterwards, yeah, he does look fantastic. Again, I didn't see the lineup. Who's his coach? Do you know?
He coached himself. He coached himself. So yeah, I mean, I know Jack. He was actually there when I won my pro card. Jack is a phenomenal bodybuilder. He has one of the best structures I've seen in bodybuilding. I know I said this to him anyway. He goes from strength to strength. When he did the regional, he actually pretty much spilt before he actually woke up. So he just took it as a bit of a test, and he learned from the mistakes, and obviously came in sharper for this. So obviously he wasn't really perfect for the show that he lost, rather than like he lost the regional rather than he got beat at the regional. So that's the reason why he won this. I mean, I was watching the bodybuilding on my way to the show, because obviously I could just see it on the stories and stuff like that. And I remember saying in the car, if it depends on who wins the supers. If Connor wins, then he's probably going to get beat by a smaller guy with a better structure. But if Nick wins, then he's just going to outsize any smaller guy, even if they are better structured than him. So obviously Nick didn't win, and Connor ended up winning with, he has a physique that is very much, in my opinion, obviously, is very much vulnerable to somebody with a better structure.
Yeah. And just wanted to jump on two of the classes very quickly. Shout out to Bryman. I know his client, Scott Lewis Martin, he didn't get the place he wanted over in Italy a few weeks back, but he took the overall win here, got his pro card in men's physique. Matt, very quickly, this is your area. What was your thoughts of him?
Yeah, well deserved, mate. If you actually look at this guy's transformation, what he's achieved in quite a short space of time, like you can tell how much he's got potential-wise. Like he's got a lot of density to his physique. I could see him potentially even outgrowing men's physique, like how quickly he's growing. But yeah, no, it's well deserved. I know Brightman had another client in the show, Ross Hume, and they both come in on the money. Ross wasn't rewarded this day, but Scott was, and it was well deserved, mate, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. And final shout out, we want to give this to this competitor as well. She's been knocking on the doors for the past few shows over at over some overseas shows she's competed in, including France and I can't remember one other country. But Coach Richard O'Donnell, this is Kirsty, who previously a WBFF pro. She was a mother last year. She's moved over to NPC, and at the show on the weekend, she got what she always wanted. There was always shows she competed in got the class win, and also got the Ifbb Pro card for Kirsty. Were any of you guys there to see this?
Yeah, so I was backstage with her. I just didn't see the actual thing. I will say though, like, you know, I think she did Sweden, and like every show she's done, she's basically been in the overall. So I'm very good friends with Richie. He's probably, you know, one of the better coaches when it comes to bikini. I was talking to him today about it. He only has 9 girls that do bikini, and he's won 3 pro cards with them. I don't think anyone's got a better ratio than that. You know, like if you know the class, you know the class. It's one of those classes where you have to nail a look. And, you know, if you see someone consistently being in an overall, no matter who the judge is, then you just know that they're going to get a pro card. Like, she works her ass off. So, you know, shouts out to her. She went after it and she got it.
She's done very well coming back. Like every show, like Yem said, she's been knocking on the door. I think in the last few months, like pretty much every time she's competed, she's been very, very close.
Yeah, I think there was only one show she wasn't in, was Poland, and that's it. Like that's not normal. I'll say that that's not normal to be that consistent in bikini. Is
but to come back that improved after having a kid, it's mad.
Well, I mean, Richie's already showed that it works because obviously his partner Lucy went through the same thing before she won her pro card, and I know Richie quite well because we both competed at our first ever show together at the UK BFF in Leicester Spa 2013 in men's physique. Was we both did our first show. He came first, I came third. But look, that's a very quickly roundup on the Two Bros British Finals. Kaya,
one more quick shout out, Suki, and that's to the figure winner, Natalie. She won a pro card as well in figure. Amanda Winston coached her. She did really well. What was cool about her is I'm pretty sure she did a PCA regional only a few weeks before, got like 3rd place, and leveled up, and then come back and got an Ifbb pro card, which is pretty epic.
She's coached by Amanda, right?
That's it, Amanda Winston, yeah.
Let me see if I can find a picture because I know I posted that one. I'll tell you what, guys, man, it's very difficult to find pictures when you're being blocked by the actual show page. Where is she?
I will say, if you go onto Amanda, I'm sure she posted pictures of her. Amanda and Martin are probably 2 of the best coaches in the UK. So, you know, if you're with them and you're winning, it almost makes sense.
Martin's a good guy, man.
Yeah, Martin's a great guy.
Give me so much time, so much advice, like with no intention of like ever having me as a client or nothing like that. Just from the good of his heart. I mean, yeah.
Weirdly enough, I've just started with him today.
Yeah, bro, he's one of the best. One of the best.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I'm gonna say this now, and crazy statement, but he's the UK's best coach.
Yeah. He's definitely up there.
Well, look, great work to everybody who earned their pro card on the weekend over Two Bros British Finals. Looking forward to seeing what they can bring now in the future pro shows. Let's just go on to the weekender, the PCA weekend, and we need to go straight into the showdown, which we all knew was going to take place. It was going to be Kaya versus Lubos. Lubos, the seasoned competitor, has competed everywhere. And of course, the one people call the future Kaya. Kaya, mate, look, I want to ask you this. So I want to throw this to you. This year has really been an unbelievable year from the PCA universe. You know, the work you and your coach Jace have been doing has been phenomenal. I do want to ask you this, so don't take this in the wrong way. I remember last year, I think you did a few shows, and there was the comments on like your pictures and videos weren't the greatest. Yes. And I felt this was really harsh on someone who's so young, so much potential. Is it because they see that potential, or are they just being haters for someone who's got such great structure? Was an element of all that being used as motivation for 2024? Because this year has been an absolute storm of a year where now the comments on your posts is all about when are you going to go get your Ifbb Pro card rather than what last year was.
Yeah, well, last year I didn't compete last year. I think
a year before.
Referring to 2022. So at that point, what basically happened was, and what sort of set off that essentially decline at that point in my life. Was I had a loss in the family, and then I slowly started to mentally just kind of slip down a bit of a slippy road. And I was just sort of competing to distract myself from the realities of life. And as a result of that, to try and keep myself mentally occupied, I ended up having a few showings which were really, really under the standard of what I should be presenting for myself and like what I should be capable of presenting. And it just backfired on me massively, to be honest. I think I was 21 at the time, and I'd gone from like winning my first NPC overall when was that, 2021, to winning 6 shows on the bounce, to the point where I'd lost the first time, which was the British, I believe. That's where I went a couple second in 2022 after winning the Universe earlier that year. But even when I won the Universe, I got slated on my conditioning. People were saying like it's really, really bad to have awarded someone in this condition. Like even after I'd won the Universe that year, so I feel like people were kind of, I don't know. I think it's very much British culture to try and build someone up to rip them down. So I think people were just testing my will a little bit, and I didn't really know how to deal with it. I had things going on, like I said, lost in the family as well. Very, very young, very, very vulnerable to a lot of things because everything I was experiencing was a first time. And then had a bad result with the British, got backlash. Had a bad result at the Worlds, got backlash, and then I decided to step back for 18 months. Didn't compete, didn't really train much. Just took time away to get my head right. So when I decided to come back this year, it was like, right, this is all or nothing now. You've been away from the stage for 2 years. You know, if you're going to do this, you're going to do it. You're going to put your all into it, and you're really going to define what fulfilling your potential can be and should be. So yeah, it did fuel it, because coming back this year, there was a lot of pressure to not mess up essentially again, or give people an opportunity or chance to be able to say the things which they said before, or have the comments which they made before. And yeah, it has fueled me. I come back, I'd say, with a fuel sense by slight anger and resentment to the way I was treated back then, and it worked.
Well, I was going to say, mate, I mean, literally, I never knew anything like it in regards to someone getting so much hate at such a young age. But on the flip side, what you've done this year has been nothing but remarkable. You were all the talk at the Universe, the build-up, lead up to the British Finals, and I know it's going to be the same case lead up to the Worlds, was all about Kaya going up against Lubos. Lubos, who has the condition, versus Kaya, who shape-wise is just 3D, 4D in all angles. So, I mean, Kaya, let me just get your thoughts here then. Look, you took second place at the British Finals. You now got the World Championships. First question is, I mean, is Lubos competing there as well? Is it going to be a rematch?
I don't know. I assume so. I mean, almost religiously every year he does the PCA Pro, Universe, Worlds, and British. And I've not seen the guy lose a class for 4 years. So he's been winning those classes that I'm now doing longer than I've been competing in men's classes. So I don't know, but I assume so.
I just want to throw a couple of questions to Matt and Yemi. Matt, first things first, in regards to Kaya versus Lubos, how did you have it? Because I thought, there are some videos, and we see some pictures, Kaya is really holding himself up against Lubos, who, like I said, the seasoned competitor, has all the PCA titles to his name. But this was close. What was your thoughts?
Yeah, I think it's just going to be a time thing. I've no doubts whatsoever that Kaya can do it long term. It's just, Lubos has just been going a long time, hasn't he? Like you said, he's a seasoned pro. So yeah, with time, I've no doubt he can do it, which is great because you have time on your side. So you're right where you need to be, I would say, and it's going to be an exciting future for sure. There are some people like this. We'll talk about him later on at Ike in PCA. There are certain people that do like to stay in PCA, and a lot of the time, people do take that next step, go Ifbb. Some people like to stay in those ranks, and Lubos seems to be one of those guys and get that money, I guess.
Well, Yemi, I want to throw over to yourself, mate. Yemi, look, you're up there with now, top of the pecking order in regards to classic. I mean, obviously now slightly ahead, obviously being Olympia already. But talk to me about the future that you see that Kaya could really is the trajectory that he's on at the moment. You've competing against him before. Obviously, Kaya's already dropped the fact that he's beaten you already. But talk to me about where you see Kaya's future in bodybuilding.
Yeah, all right. You know what? How about this? I'll give you not just his future, but I'll explain to you his past. So, what I mean by that, right, is I think the only reason why Kaya gets as much hate as he did get is because of two reasons. One, because everybody has a fucking opinion. That's just the reality. Like, everybody loves to just give an opinion. Regardless of how good or bad you are, people just love to chat. But two, and this is the main reason why I think you get a lot of hate in here, is because I think everyone can see that you are probably one of, if not the best possible bodybuilder that could come out of the UK. Considering your age and considering how fast you put on the tissue, like, I'm not going to get into it, but you know the conversations we had behind the, like, backstage at the Arnold Classic, right? That's not normal. Do you get what I mean? Like, that's what I was doing for that, and you was doing for that. It's like, it's a bit bullshit. But with that being said, like, future-wise, I don't think it really needs to be said. Like, from a structure perspective, it's phenomenal. You're not winning. You beat me in the classic half, and I'm gonna just say this without caring that I sound like a cocky bastard. I probably have one of the best structures in classic physique right now, and you still beat me in the classic show. So it just shows you that you have a good structure. Like, it's undeniable. And then on top of that, you have the ability to put on a shit ton of muscle. Because you was what, 21 at the time?
Yeah.
20, 21. So
I was, when was this? 2021. No, I was 20.
Okay, so you was 20. How long were you training at that point?
4 years, competing 3 years.
So you was 20, training for 4 years, which at that point is still more than me, so just saying. And like, you already had the ability to beat adults, and win overalls in any federation that you wanted to in the UK.
That show was my break. Because I won the overall after winning the juniors, and then I done the open class A. So that was that was a big show.
Winning juniors and overalls, bro. So the fact that you have that ability, I don't need to tell you where your future's going, bro. As long as you stay on bodybuilding and don't give up, and with what you're doing to get there, it's inevitable, bro. Like, you're gonna be on the Olympia stage too. So, like, it's just, I don't have to tell you that, bro.
I appreciate it, bro.
You can tell how good he is because of how many swords he's got in his background. I'm pretty good as an amateur. I've only got one. But how many he's got? Makes me feel inferior.
I think he's got more wins than I've done shows.
Look, Kaya, I want to jump on this, mate. Look, this is no disrespect to PCA, because I want to ask about your future as well, because we still got the World Championships in 4 weeks' time, but still the focus. I know how important it is to get that pro win, but we also do need to address a lot of the comments where they keep asking you, when are you going to go for your Ifbb Pro card, which you have done before, but this is a new version of Kaya where the sky's the limit. There's no ceiling. So I'm sure these conversations have been had between you and Jace going into 2025 or even the future. Are you able to give us a little glimpse about
100%.
what next year could hold for you?
Yeah, so it's all planned out. So obviously, when I decided to come back to bodybuilding this year, it was a case of data collection. So we got back on stage in the universe. Obviously, had an amazing weekend. 2 overalls in 2 days, junior, universe, pro card, and just collecting data. We was like, listen, we need to learn to walk before we can run again, and don't rush, because most important thing was just taking our time and just getting into a position whereby the physique is where it needs to be without chasing a card or a title or this or that. And PCA is a great place for me to have done that without as much pressure, trying to jump straight into pro qualifiers and things like that. Because for me, still being only turning 23 this year, I do have that time on my side. So again, British yesterday. Data collection. You know, we're 5 kilos up since the universe. A lot of improvements have been made, and these shows we're just simply calling stepping stones. You know, 5 kilos up in 5 months. There or about same conditioning. You know, these are all big stepping stones towards the ultimate goal, which will be developing what is as close to a 212 physique as can be, whilst, you know, winning a little bit of money as well with a PCA. So we're going to do the Worlds in 4 weeks, and then we will go into an off season to try and pack on as much muscle as I can for the big run, which will be hunting down the pro card in the 212, going back to the NPC for the first time in 3 years next year when I'm 24, because obviously I'll officially, I can't do juniors anymore. There's no point, there's no challenge in it. But obviously I will officially no longer be a junior next year. So then from that point, it makes sense to take that leap after having used the PCA shows as stepping stones and progress markers, to basically just collect data, gather information, make that necessary progress, so that when the time's right, I'd say probably around the same sort of time this year, next year, we will start to hunt for that pro card and take the leap into that 212 division, where I wholeheartedly believe is where I belong.
Well, I know I dropped a post.
This is why people hate you, bro. You're winning pro cards and checks, and you're calling it stepping stones.
But that's because the vision is so big, bro. Like, what we know is possible.
I get it. Don't worry, you have to explain it. But what I'm saying is, it's funny because there's people out there that are trying their arse off to get this, and this is just collecting data.
But
the fact that he gained 5 kilos in 5 months, that is just madness. That would take me over a year easily to get. Like, that shows the potential there.
I'll be honest. When you're like, that's the one thing I will say. Like, because even between the Europa and British, I was 2 kilos up, and that was 5 weeks. So, I get that Kai could do that. That's normal.
I'd say, like, there's a very small percentage of the population that are just gifted that elite level genetic. And I feel like if you combine that with a solid work ethic and a really good coach that knows what they're doing, when things just click, it's like magic, bro. Like, seeing what your physique can actually do is genuinely fascinating.
Yeah, it's mad, isn't it?
Crazy. Like, I'll wake up and be like, I did not know my body could do that.
I've always talked about, like, I've mentioned to other people as well in regards, you use the word gifted physiques, and I've always said, like, some of the ones who've actually competed myself, Jack Eagles, gifted in regards to what he's progressed into. Alex Assel, won the PCA, was PCA men's physique, into bodybuilder, now 212, going for his Olympia qualification in Romania. And then, of course, yourself, Kaya. And you could just see that development. And look, Yemi hit the nail on the head in regards to, like, your future, your ceiling. It's sky's the limit. And I know you mentioned about this time next year, September, October time. I dropped a post about a month ago. I know, well, they should be announcing this soon, but I know the Arnold in the UK is supposed to be September next year. So who knows? Maybe when they announce that, to drop that date, that could be a date of a diary watch show. That would be try and win your pro card.
Amateur this time.
Sorry?
We're doing the amateur this time.
No, so from what I understand, so I can't disclose my contact, but it would just be a pro show. Obviously, they can't do the amateur show because they don't have the rights to put that on. But yes, the plans is that they do have a date at the NEC for September, and it would be just the pro show, which of course lines up nicely just before the Olympia. So of course they'll be hoping to try and get the big names to jump on that prior to Olympia. So yeah, one for you, Yemi. You should announce a date.
All
right. I want to jump on a few of the ones very quickly, guys, on the PCA Pro, and I want to jump on this fella, and this is the guy who's trying to hunt down PCA history, and that is Ifbb. He's now not a Universe Pro champion, but also the British Pro champion in men's physique, and he is going for the quadruple, which is the PCA Germany. And and the PCA World Championships. So I know Fieldo did the hat trick last year. Ike wants to go one step further. Kaya, I'm sure you know Ike very well.
Yeah,
what do you think?
I spoke with him yesterday. I spoke with him yesterday, and he's a good guy, man. So supportive, so humble, so grounded. But like I said to him yesterday when I saw him, like, you are doing exactly what you need to do, which is playing to your strengths. He is through and through men's physique. You know, the structure is there. The balance is perfect. He every single time seems to come in super consistently with nailing his peak and his condition, and the look is just always. There's times where people come close, but ultimately he's just got the full package. And listen, if he can keep going and doing these PCA Pro shows, picking up $2,000 a pop each time, you know, it's like I know it's not, but he makes it look like a walk in the park. And again, he said himself, you know, no rush. You know, when he's ready to take that jump to the Ifbb, he will. But for now, listen, he's getting paid, he's having fun, and he's dominating, playing to his strengths, which I feel like more people should do before, again, trying to run before you can walk. Learn to walk well and then take that jump.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, when you look at men's physique competitors, outside of Ryan Terry, Ike has probably earned more prize money than any other men's physique competitor. When you actually clock up that prize money, I'm sure it's getting close to $20,000 on what he's made.
I have a question about that one.
Sorry?
Andre Ferguson will probably question you on that one still. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Within the UK though.
Within the UK, I mean.
Well, non-IFBB, definitely.
Yeah, non-IFBB, 100%.
Well, I was talking to him about it on Saturday, because realistically, you know, if you do all the PCA shows, you can earn what, 10K a year if you win them all, and that's not including China.
I think as a UK competitor, outside of Ryan Terry, for all men's physique competitors, I'm sure, he has earned more money than everybody else as a men's physique. Like he won $5,000 at the Atlas show in America 2022. He's probably won about $10,000 there. He's won prize money at UKUP. He's stacking it up. Obviously, you know, we're near the Ryan Terry $60,000. Sorry?
You actually have to win. UK guys, they compete a lot, but they don't win.
Yeah, there you go. But I think let me throw this question. I mean, Ike, I had a chat with him earlier this year, and we were talking about, would he make a full-time step into IFBB, into NPC? He did that earlier this year. He won his class. He did win the overall. And I think, did he do an international show? I can't remember.
He couldn't get the visa.
No.
Yeah, he couldn't.
After the show, he didn't continue to do anything.
Yeah. So I guess with him, I mean, are we all in agreement that this guy, once he's completed all the PCA, which is looking very likely to do that, is really the next step for him to remain competitive and keep pushing himself to go and really make an assault on that IFBB Pro card?
I think the question would be to him if he actually wants it, because the amateur scene in the IFBB or the NPC, I guess, is absolutely brutal. And like, no disrespect to PCA and stuff like that, but you know, like, what's his name? Josh Ortiz?
Yeah.
He was killing it in PCA. He was at the British, and I think he got second to last. The difference is very vast. It's about how bad he wants it. So it's more of a question that he would have to answer rather than we would.
That being said, I'll elaborate on that a little bit more. You've got to remember, Josh Ortiz is natural. Ike does have a little bit.
I believe Ike is natural too, actually. He told me he is.
Oh, well, either way, Ike's a little bit bigger. I think he would fare a little bit better in NPC/IFBB. I would actually like to see him in that lineup again, because when he went for it before, I'm sure he won't mind me saying, he wasn't 100% on. Like when Ike's 100% on, he's very, very dangerous. No doubt to get his card quite easily.
He's just got that structure.
Okay, you know what? I would say, because he went against Hutch at that show in the overall, because Hutch won that overall, right? And Hutch is a good person to like size him up against, because the height difference. Hutch is very short, but he's very good. So he like kind of beats taller guys. I would say like I would need to see him 100% against someone like, you know, against someone to have a good understanding. Or because I will say like, you know, there's a okay, like when you're at high level competition, right? And I don't know, Kyle, you understand what I'm saying, right? Like there's almost like a seasonedness that needs to be there, that or like a willingness that you need to have where you take it from, you know, being very good in one place to being great at another, if that makes sense.
Yeah, but 100%. I think like when I started doing well when I was 21, and then I dipped my toes in the water at the NPC, and I was like, you know, I've done a few pro qualifiers. I come like 5th, 6th. I was always in the top, however many. But I was like, you know what? It made me realize that I actually wasn't ready. So that's why I was like, I'm not going to rush. I'm going to take my time. And I feel like just more people just need to really establish themselves before taking that jump, because many people have got the potential to do so. But the thing is that once you do take that leap and that jump into the IFBB, there's many people out there who have achieved that status and have took that jump that weren't actually ready and then go on to never do anything again. So it has to be when you're ready, because that jump is a big one, and the difference in levels are huge, because you can go from that's why I'm really re-solidifying myself essentially this year within the PCA at the highest level I can before I take that jump, so I can really make sure I'm ready. Because once you're in the Premier League, it doesn't get any higher than that. There's nothing more you can do. So you have to make sure that when you're going into the highest of levels, you are ready. Like, because if you get there prematurely, it's not a good time.
Yeah,
guys, I just want to jump very quickly on a few of the other PCA Pro classes. I just want to jump on these real quickly before we jump to Darwin. Adrian made a comeback, 3-time British champion. Kai, coached by your coach as well, Jace.
Yeah.
Look phenomenal. Kai, what's your thoughts here with him?
He's the Saxon King, mate. It's what he does. He's got aura about him. You know, he's got an amazing physique. He's lifetime natural. Everyone loves him. You can't not love him. He's an amazing poser. He's got a quality physique. I believe, if I'm not wrong, this is his last show. I'm not sure if he's hanging up the trunks or not, but from what I've heard, he's correct. I think this is his farewell. But just a great guy, smashed it, and it was great to see him back up there again, and thoroughly deserved. He was on stage as I was in the pump up area, and I saw it. Looked great, fully deserved.
Matt, Remy, junior men's physique competitor. I did the post about him prior to PCA, saying that, you know what, he should take the junior British title. He did. He's got his pro card. What do you think of his physique?
Yeah, we knew he was going to take it. I spoke to him a few weeks beforehand, and it was a bit obvious he was going to take it. For a junior, mate, look at him. He's fucking nuts. So it was very, very well deserved. Loads of future potential. He's coached by Zach, and he did a sterling job there. I did speak to him at the show. He said he was thinking about taking a bit of time off to be normal again, because he's had a hard run to get this pro card. But when he's ready to go back to it, like, no doubt he'll go far in the sport. Yeah,
for sure. Just want to do a couple of shout outs here. Josh McKell's client won in one of the bodybuilding classes, got his pro card. I think it was definitely always going to be one that he was going to be pushing for that. Like, phenomenal physique, great symmetry. I saw him in the regional show that he did, but great work from Josh in bringing his physique to the table and then winning the pro card. Also, do want to give a shout out to this lad, the Welsh shredder, Neil Andrews. I know him from my time living in Swansea. He won his pro card and also won the Pro Masters. First time they've done the Pro Masters division and winning $2,000. And that picture says it all when you just see the vascularity, the condition. Insane. You know, fair play to the guy.
Very grainy in person. You can tell he's a Masters from that muscle maturity. Yeah,
absolutely, mate. And another one I want to give a shout out to. This is Charlotte Ellis's client, Zoe. Zoe did compete with myself a couple of years ago, but she made her comeback after taking about 12 months out, or probably actually about 18 months out. Made a comeback at the PCA British Finals, won the pro card. Won the pro title over $2,000. I'm sure she'll be going to the World Championships as one of the favorites. Hopefully, we'll see some more international competitors at that show. Still a big lineup, but I did feel that she was the standout in that class. So fair play to her and Charlotte. And just one other person I will just jump on very quickly is Emily. Emily Wilkinson.
Emily's a favorite of mine, mate. She was outstanding, honestly. The density that she's built, because I saw her compete last year to this year, outstanding. Like, she has got a lot of muscle on her frame. It's interesting, because PCA go for a very different look to Ifbb, especially within the Masters division. But she absolutely nailed it, mate. Absolutely nailed it.
Yeah, she looked phenomenal. So well done to everybody at the PCA show. Well done to everyone who competed, got their win, got their pro cards, and rolled on 4 weeks' time to the World Championships. Now Kai is back on stage. Guys, I want to jump on this one now. Niall Darwin, Brazil Olympia, Muscle Contest International, Dino's show. That's what it was all about. All the footage was all about Dino. He had a massive entourage. I'm going to throw it to yourself, Yemi, because in my opinion, we saw Dino have those sweating problems all over again. Lightning struck twice after Olympia, but Dino took the win. Darwin came third. I believe, Cal told me that Darwin came in 7 pounds heavier than he did at the Olympia, but fullness looked ridiculous. Yemi, talk to me about what your thoughts were of Darwin's performance of the weekend.
I'm biased, so I'm going to start with that. That's my twin. But yeah, I was watching that live stream, right? And I feel that live stream was good ass quality. So normally you can say, oh, you can't judge it by the live stream. You can't beat it. Listen, that live stream was tearing in my ass. I didn't really see Dino beating Nas in any shot. You could potentially give him maybe the favorite classic because he was stepping over the line and putting his hand in man's face. But and I never really seen him hit a crucifix in the, he was doing too much there. But the sweating for me, way too much. You should get ducked for that because that's not normal. That comes from, a few things. But from what I'm getting, they were cool in the, they were getting like AC down in the backstage. Like it wasn't like they were, hot in Brazil outside on the beach or something and then having to come in on stage. So I don't know why he's sweating like that. I saw a post or I saw a comment from Michael Blue saying something about he eats donuts backstage and it could be something to do with sugars. I'm not sure. I've actually not really done much sugars backstage. I had salt water for the British for breakfast pretty much. Like that's what I was eating. So I don't really, I can't, compare. But I think that you should definitely get the duck for that. His tan was too dark anyway. And then, when it comes to classic flow and lines, like everything that I would say Dino has, Nas has better. So Dino has a small waist, Nas's waist is tinier. I see a couple comments of people talking about Nas being a bit narrow, and he does have a narrow structure, but he didn't look narrow next to Dino. I'll be honest, he actually looked a little bit wider than him, just a touch. So again, I don't really know what's going on with the judging, but from what the conversation I had with Nas, obviously, it was just a bit of he was a touch too small. Because obviously being full is gonna, no matter what, sacrifice a little bit of conditioning. So, the best thing to do is to not come in. It's to basically be bursting through the day before and then just kind of like get all that fluid out. Obviously glycogen and stuff like that is not the best, especially when you're on the classic where it's like, think about, like, for example, bodybuilding, right? If you're 100% bursting full, you stand next to somebody, you could just make them look small. If I'm 100% bursting full in classic, then the person next to me can make me look fat. Or even worse, the two people next to me can make me look fat. So I think that might have been what happened because Becky had just gone up to Becky went up to Livingston in front of everyone and basically said, "You're lucky that he wasn't sharper, because then he would have got second."
I think the fact it was in Brazil had a lot to do with it as well. Like,
Dino
was so far from his best.
But I don't want to say that because I do think that the judging is pretty fair in IFBB. Like I've not had too many calls in classic as a whole that I've been like up in arms with. I don't understand why they went that way. With Dino, I can see why they went with Dino. Like I'm not gonna act like there was no way Dino won. There was an argument for Dino to win, and which this is why he won. But with that being said, from my opinion, I just wouldn't have given him the win.
He was
so here's my thought. Here's my thoughts to share very quickly. I want to reach yourself, Matt, as well. I mean, look, this was Dino's hometown show. We saw the videos of him really upset after losing at Olympia, dropping down to 4th place. And you heard the crowd. The crowd was like a Justin Bieber concert. I mean, he is an absolute celebrity, a pop star over there. And you could tell from the crowd that it's very hard. If you're judging, you've got that in the back of your ear at all times. They're screaming for him. 6.8 million followers. He's huge. But what I would say is this was a massive win for Darwin, because though he was going to go head-to-head in Dino's backyard, the best thing he could have done was get people commenting saying, wait there, I think Darwin's got this. I think Darwin's the post. Dino's the poster boy for in element. Now, Chris Bum says retired. He is up there as one of the poster boys for the classic division. He's got the biggest following. He's got entire country behind him. But what Darwin did there was he got people talking about him in the comments on socials that, you know what, this guy is pushing Dino. In fact, no, I think I've got Darwin ahead of Dino. So despite Dino won, Darwin has so much to take away, and that's put him in a great place going into 2025. I really hope this does not get forgotten when he does take on his next American shows next year when he goes back to try and win his qualification.
Everyone in the UK is talking about him right now. Like, the name that he's making for himself is just, the trajectory of his career this year is just skyrocketed, like fast.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely agree with what you're saying about that's the best thing that could have happened. You know, sometimes it's like what happened with me at the Emperor, the Europa. Sometimes the best thing to do is to be the people's champ, and that's what Nas came out with. He came out as the people's champ. I think, you know, with now, he fought his cap was 227. It's now been solidified at 234. So he's got more weight to play with. It's long. Like, I talk to him every day, and like that weight for him to get to 227, it was a drag. Like, he was pulling weight for a long time. Like, his weight was not moving. Like, I'm pretty sure he like lost pretty much 8 pounds throughout the entire prep between like LA and the Olympia, and it was like him dragging, and he was sending me check-ins, and I could just see he was drastically, you know, he'd lose like a pound, and it looked like he had lost like 10. It was fucking weird. Like, so I would just say, like, you know, someone like Nas, it's just a long day for most people, I'll be honest. Like, if you don't have structure and you're doing classic,
I just want to just jump on one thing now, guys. I know we're coming towards the end of this. Fitparade in Hungary took place. I do want to share this one as well. This was Kerry Sexton, who took 2nd place in Hungary. She took 2nd I think it was a week before, 2 weeks before as well. Just missed out on an Olympia qualifier ticket. 2nd place again. I'm going to say this because I put in the post, and Matt, I know I mentioned this in the last recap, that I had Kerry down as one of the competitors, one of the bikini girls. I will say will get Olympia. If there was a bookies, if I could put my money on right now, she's doing the Ifbb Spain this weekend. I really feel this is going to be the show where she's going to take the ticket to the Olympia. Just like before she got her pro card, where she had to do a few pro qualifiers. She kept being second overall, knocking on the door. It's happening all over again, where she's knocking on the door on the Olympic qualifying ticket. And I think, look, she looked great. She beat Jess, who beat her in the last show, who only won the ticket to Olympia. The fair play to Jess. But Ifbb Spain's coming up. I believe that Kerry will win that show. I think she's paid her dues. She's come 2nd, two shows in a row. I think she's got the ticket now next weekend. So, Kerry, I wish you the best of luck. Really hope you and Mark get that. Well, obviously Mark's not competing, but you two are a combination. Hope you guys have a successful show next weekend. One thing I just want to jump on very quickly before I finish off. the guys, Team GB went out to the DFNA, which is the Danish Federation of Natural Bodybuilding. It was a European Championship. So congratulations to all of the Team GB competitors who competed out there. I know here we got the women's physique overall winner, Nicola Cottrell, who is prepped by Dan Welburn. Very, very much congratulations. There was another guy, the men's physique overall winner, who was also from the UK, Leon Drake. Apologies if I pronounced your name wrong. There is a picture here. There we are. You won the overall, and I believe you came second in the pro show. So many congratulations. And last one, Kaifi West. It was his last show of the season, and that was the DFAC World Championships. So I'm just quickly grabbing your page, mate. I think he came fourth. Apologies, mate. I may have got that wrong, but I know you got your client who came second in James. So well done to James and Kaifi, mate. Congratulations again. It was your first year out of being a junior competitor. You went in the Open. You took a top fourth place out of 10 in the World Championship in the Natural Bodybuilding Federation, which of course is what you're known for. But many congratulations, buddy. You look phenomenal. Saw the pictures leading up to it, mate. In fact, I'll throw it to you guys here. Kaya, have you come across it before?
Yes, spoken many times. Always a great person to stop and talk to. The kid, he just loves bodybuilding, mate. He just loves bodybuilding. Super passionate about it. Always doesn't miss a beat. He's always on it with year round. He lifts. He is one of the strongest people you will see. What he pulls from the floor is disgusting for a natural as well. It's that much more impressive. And when it comes down to the shows, consistently, he's absolutely peeled. I think it's just a time thing, obviously as a natural athlete, it just takes that much longer to get that much bigger. But he's a great guy. He's got a great future. He puts out great content as well, and yeah, he's just an all-round bodybuilding fanatic. He loves it. But yeah, he's always looking good. He's always a good guy to bump into and talk to.
All right, guys. Look, we're coming to the end of this, and as always, we always finish off with a quiz right at the end. And I'm going to throw it to you guys because Yemi has won the Olympia ticket. It's going to be focusing on classic physique. Classic physique at the Olympia 2024. So this is how we do it. I'm going to ask you guys a question. There's 15 answers. So we're going to go round the circle. So I'm not involved. We're going to start with Matt, go into Kaya, go into Yemi, and then go to Matt. So there's 15 answers. You all got to give an answer. And then first one gets it wrong is out.
Okay.
Trial sheet here. I'm going to tell you the question beforehand. The question is, I want a name of all 15 competitors that place 1st to 15th in classic physique at the Olympia. So 1st to 15th. So I've got the 15 names here in order. I don't need it in order. I just need a name. So we're going to start with Matt, go to Kaya, go to Yemi, go back to Matt, go around circles, and then we'll see who's the last man standing. Do you guys understand it?
Oh, this is bad because I was there as I was watching it, so I can't lose this.
I understand. I'm about to embarrass myself.
Okay, Matt. By the way, guys, I'm going to give you like 5 seconds. So, okay, Matt, you go first.
Chris Bumstead.
Obviously, Kaya.
Kalinski.
Sorry?
Logan Franklin.
Yes. Matt.
Mike Summerfeld.
Yes.
Michael DeBall.
Yes.
Now Darwin.
Yes.
Wesley Vissers.
Yes.
Oh. This is not good.
Oh, you're out, mate.
Okay.
Yemi, you're in.
Breon Ainsley.
Sorry?
Breon Ainsley.
Sorry, you broke up there.
Breon Ainsley.
Yes, mate. Yes. Of course, Breon. Yes, mate. Matt, your turn.
Oh, come on. Ramon Dino.
Of course.
Jay Juan.
Who, sorry?
Jay Juan? What's his? Jay Juan? Oh, goddamn, the Asian Korean guy.
I'm gonna take that because yes, Jaren Park. Yes, Matt.
Oh, fuck.
Damn it. Damn it. I wish it wasn't going to take that. I'm in trouble.
Matt, come on. There's one. Matt. Yemi, give me one more name.
Justin Bishwaya. Oh, god damn it. The long hair, handsome guy. It looks like Chris Bumstead.
Yeah. He was
I was not going to get B on classic physique. God damn it.
Matt, how did you forget the Spanish lad, Jose?
Oh, yeah, of course. Oh, man.
Jose Mar. You know what? Jose Mar is actually a very, very nice guy, I'll be honest.
Man, his legs back.
Bro, his back.
And he's 22 or something like that, isn't he?
No, he's 22. He's basically classic. He's basically like another one of you, mate.
Guys, I'm going to leave it as that. Thank you very much. That is our recap of the British finals. We also recapped some of the international shows and also the UK competitors. And of course, we'll be back this weekend. We have another weekend of shows. And I do believe it is the Two Roads Natural Show. You got the BPA Super Show. And we've got a few other things going on as well. So thank you, guys. Thank you to our guest, Yemi, off to Olympia. Best of luck for the prep. I'm sure we'll bring you back on leading up to the Olympia. Kaya, massive good luck for the World Championships. I speak to Lubos quite a bit. He's a lovely fella, but I do hope you take him out. And Matt, thanks again for being awesome host. Cheers, guys.
See you again.